Hello,
right.
good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday night live stream. How are you guys doing tonight? I hope you're doing well. My name is Radlin Mendoza, and this is my husband-in-law, Gardner, and we are attorneys at Gardner Mendoza, the founders, the owners, whatever you want to call us, for immigration attorneys. And we are here every Wednesday night to answer your immigration questions. And yeah,
Yeah.
we're
How's
ready to
everyone
go.
doing out there? Hope your January is off to a good start.
Yes.
2022. Hope you're keeping your resolutions. We've been trying. We've been doing pretty good with some of them. Not great with some others, but
Yeah, we've been doing a
early.
great job. It's
early.
It's early in the game. And hello to our TikTok folks and everyone else who's joining us. Us from Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. Thank you so much.
That's
for
right. We've
coming
got our
on.
Facebook Live, and we also have our whole Twitter family over here. So
TikTok family.
Twitter, TikTok family. Excuse me. So if you see me looking over here, that's because I'm monitoring the TikTok questions. And if you have a question, if you're joining us through TikTok and you have a question, get it posted up as soon as you can, and we will try to get to it. Or if you prefer, and we do prefer, if you come over to our Facebook page, because that way we can post the question up on the screen for everyone to see. And that's Gardner Mendoza Law if you want to come to our Facebook page. All right,
fantastic. Hello, Linda. Happy New Year to you. Jabber, good evening. Miss Lovely, hello. Miss Evelina, great to see all of you guys, and Happy New Year to all of you.
Happy New Year to all of you.
Jabber's watching from Lisbon, Portugal. Pretty cool.
Wow,
we got
really
some old
cool.
school people up here. Miss Lakeisha, hello. Hold on a second. That's funny. Okay. All right. We had the TikTok pause there.
Sorry, folks. We just had a little bit of okay.
All right. So
but yeah, that's cool. Somebody joining us from Lisbon, Portugal. That's really cool.
Nice. Virginia Beach, Virginia, Hampton.
Yeah, that's cool as well.
Newport News. And everywhere under the sun on TikTok. Anyhow, what are we talking about today? We are answering your immigration questions primarily. We have a couple of immigration updates. We have a special guest, Linda Carter. She's joining us in the comments. I don't know how long she'll stay on, but Linda's an old friend because we worked together for a really long time. She was an immigration officer at the Norfolk Immigration Office for years and years and years. And then she became a supervisor, and she recently retired. I believe it was last November.
Yep.
So
Linda's a very, very smart person. So it's an honor.
And she brings us food, delicious lasagna,
and a great cook.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyhow, all right. So we have a PSA though from our attorneys before we get any further.
Yeah, before we say anything else, we want to make sure that we let you know that what we do here is for informational and educational purposes only. It is technically not legal advice. Okay. But that said, we do want to give you some updates on immigration law, other areas of law if we think that they're important for our community. And most importantly, as Radlin said, we want to answer your questions. So if you have an immigration question, get it to us and we will answer it. And if we can't answer it, then we'll just punt it over to Linda. And she can
Linda can answer it as a someone also in the know. And also, really quickly, before we get any further, I want to wish John a happy upcoming birthday. John's got a birthday on Friday. Happy birthday, babe.
Thank you. Thanks.
And he wants to watch a movie. And he also wants to eat at the movie theater. Now, I personally think it's kind of a waste of a good birthday dinner, but he's the birthday boy and he gets to choose whatever he wants to.
You know what? Our daughters want to see Sing 2, and I can't think of a better way to spend my birthday than going to a movie with my wife and my daughters and eating food in the theater. That's perfect for me.
All of that sounds awesome except the food in the theater. But it's going to be great. Anyway, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Miss Evelina says, guess what? It's official. I have my American passport now. Yay.
All right,
fantastic.
Congratulations.
That's
wonderful.
Evelina has supported us
congrats.
Right here on our live stream through COVID, through the pandemic. Yes, she has been a faithful listener, watcher. Linda wants to know if I'm. John, is John 29 years
No,
old again?
not 29, Linda. This is the big 3-5 for me.
Yeah, and hello to my cousin Malu.
No, actually,
she says also happy birthday.
Yes.
All right. So
thanks, Malu. Appreciate it.
Guys, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. That's why we're here. You can even throw us a throw ball, a curveball one, since we have backup. Miss Linda Carter is here.
Right.
Let's see what she might, if she stays on, how lucky we are if she does. So, all right, let's go with the first question.
Before we get to the specific immigration questions, I did want to give an update because a lot of folks ask us about this, and I have been monitoring the immigration updates, and I just wanted to let you know that we are in the same place that we have been for quite some time now with the immigration reform, specifically that it is stalled in the Senate. It was attached to the Build Back Better proposed legislation, which is currently stalled in the Senate. And even if that legislation moves forward, the last update was the Congress, they had tried twice to put forward some immigration reforms. They tried to attach it to the Build Back Better legislation in hopes that they could get it through with that. Twice, the Senate parliamentarians said that the things that they were proposing could not be included in a reconciliation piece of legislation, which is what Build Back Better is, the way it's going through, in an effort to try to bypass the filibuster in the Senate. So then they had a Plan C, and on December 16th, the Senate parliamentarian ruled that the Plan C also cannot be included in the legislation because of the fact that it's a reconciliation spending bill. So I'm sorry to say that right now everything is looking pretty bleak in terms of any big reforms. And the closer we get to the election in 2022, the harder it will be because these folks will not want to take hard votes on some of these things. So that's my report. It's not a great report, but it can't change the facts.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks for keeping us all updated on that. Linda says we need real immigration reform. Amen, sister. I completely agree with you on that one. So I'm going to go ahead and answer this first question here on our Facebook. Again, our Facebook is where we're shooting off of this platform. So if y'all on TikTok want to come in and write your question in here on our Facebook page, Gardner Mendoza Law is what it is. And you can write all of the characters, and you can stay on TikTok as well. It's a little bit harder to read the comments, but John monitors them pretty well. He's awesome at that. So I'm going to put this question here from Jabber, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. And Jabber says, I am planning to move into the USA with my family, but not sure how to start the process. If you guys kindly can explain about it. Now, that is a very broad immigration question, but generally speaking, I'm going to say, because you're from Portugal, generally speaking, there's going to be a couple of ways that people can immigrate to the United States. One is through family. If you have a family member that can petition for you, and then you can immigrate to the United States based on that family member's petition. Or you can come here through employment, where you've got a company that sponsors you either through the H-1B, or they sponsor you with a labor certification. And so those are generally two very broad ways. Now, of course, there are lots of different things in between. We've got humanitarian options as well. If people are here and they claim asylum, if people are here and they are eligible for TPS, like Venezuela, for example, most recently. And so there are humanitarian provisions as well, but just broadly speaking, so I don't know how you're planning on coming here or how you're moving. You can also invest in the United States. There's potentially an E2. I'd have to check to see if Portugal is an E2 country. I believe that it is. There's again, but I always like to break it up into two broad categories, family and business. Of course, there's a lot in between. So that's just kind of a general overview. Hopefully that helps. And if you want to add more detail as to how you might be immigrating, we could fill in the blanks a little bit. All right. You want to grab a question from?
Well, we'll grab the first one that came up, and it's.
Is it Wolfgang?
No, but you can just sort of maybe repeat a little bit of what you just said.
Okay.
Lead Frames had a very similar question.
Okay.
He said, "Hey, my cousin is from Kazakhstan. What is the best way that we can bring him here? He's 33 with 2 kids."
So as a cousin, you're not going to be able to petition for your cousin. But is there another family member that can petition for him? He has 2 children. Let's just assume that he's married. I mean, although that's not, I'm just going to assume that he's married. Maybe his wife has someone that can petition for her. Is there, and with E2, if Kazakhstan is an E2 country, I don't know that it is. But if it is, there could be an investment. What does he do? Is there an employer that's interested in doing a labor certification for him? Does he have a degree? Can he do an H-1B? I mean, there's just so many things. Does he want to be a student? What is the goal? Is the goal to come to the United States temporarily? Is the goal to come to the United States temporarily and see what happens? A lot of people who come in on student visas, that's what the goal is to come and study, and then things change. People say, hey, I have a degree here in the United States. Now I want to find a job here. I like the culture here, So the first starting point is just the goal. And the second is identifying family members that could potentially petition. Now, again, some of these petitions can take a really long time. Say if cousin has a brother in the United States, that's going to take 17 years, right? So I think a consultation with an immigration attorney can be us. We do virtual consultations, but it could be someone that's close to you or that is recommended by someone. But that is the initial starting point, is to talk to an immigration attorney and find out what the options are, because we don't know much about your cousin other than he's got 2 kids and may or may not be married. So
I mean, self-filing an immigration obviously is an option, but especially when you're starting out a case, I really recommend that you seek professional help, that you have a consultation with an immigration lawyer just to see what your options are, make sure that you're starting off on the right foot and you're not making any fatal mistakes right out of the gate. It's well worth the money. And as Radlin said, we would love to have you have a consultation with us, and we represent folks all over the country, all over the world. You don't have to be where we are. We are physically located in Virginia Beach, Virginia, but you don't have to be physically here to talk to us and have a consultation or to have us represent you in your immigration case. Right. That said, if you do feel more comfortable seeing somebody who's in your own backyard, then that's fine as well. But I still recommend that you do that. Find somebody reputable who's in your area.
You should just call us
and talk.
Our number, our number is 757-464-9224 if you want to make an appointment. We charge $245 for an up to 1 hour consultation. And there's also an option for a 20-minute consultation. Now, I found that people sometimes make 2-3 20-minute consultations. And so it would just probably be best to make an hour consultation for $245. And I think that it would be well worth your money. Not trying to be sales, but
yeah. And you can also reach out to us at info@gmlaw.net.
Right. You could also message us through Messenger. TikTok, you cannot send me a direct message anymore, unfortunately, because we have to be following each other, and I don't get notification when someone's trying to send me a message. It's very strange. So Evelina says, wow, did not know there are so many ways to, immigrate, get a green card, temporary protection, whatever. There are a lot of different ways, but, even though there are many, there are not a lot of people fit into those categories. And then these things do take time. So yeah, there are several categories, but a lot of times people don't fit in. But it's very good to explore the different options. I mean, I didn't even talk about like the trainee visa or, the person of extraordinary ability. I mean, there are many. The question is, will you be able to fit into those categories? All right. Let's see here. Lakeisha has a question. What should I do to prepare for the next step in the process for my fiance visa? What paperwork should I be gathering? Right now, I am in the beginning stage awaiting approval of my I-129F. Lakeisha, first off, congrats on filing the I-129F. Yay, good job. So what you can do right now is basically you can take a look at the I-134. You're going to have to file the I-134. Well, your fiance will have to take that to his interview. You can also take a look at the DS-160 and have your fiance answer the questions and just kind of you're not going to be able to pre-fill it out, but you can look at the questions and make sure that he has all the answers to that. So when it is time to complete that, he can. And those are the two things that I would recommend. I don't recall if he's lived anywhere else other than Haiti. If he has, then he may have to get police certificates from those countries if you live there for more than 6 months. So those are the things that I would take a look at. But great question, and way to look ahead into the future. All right.
All right. Wolfgang has joined us.
Okay, Wolfgang
to
actually
TikTok.
registered, and so we're
Yep.
gonna get his question.
That's why I
or
found this
hers.
question first.
Yes.
Wolfgang wanted to know, which is the easier path to have my fiance to be with me in the United States, a K1 or a K3?
Oh, Wolfgang, I think that maybe he asked this question before, and so this question has been coming up in the comments, and I think the reason I know that the reason this is coming up. Okay, so let's talk about processing times right now. All right. So with the K1, first off, you have to not be married. Okay, you're not married if you're doing a K1. If you are married and you're looking at the I-130 processing time, say you're looking at it, California Service Center is taking 27 months. Those are real times. Then you might be thinking, well, gosh, why don't I do the K3, which is the same form, the I-129F, the K1's file. They're taking 9 months to process. That seems like it would cut the process timing down, right? Like I would have my spouse here, because again, K3 is when you're married. And it seems like I would have my spouse here faster, especially if my case goes to the California Service Center or Texas, where those processing times are really long. So when the K3 first came out, we did one or two of them, and they were kind of disastrous, because basically what would happen is by the time the whole the K1, the K3, the I-129F got approved and you went through all that, the immigrant visa, the I-130, also was in the stages of getting interviewed. And so we were just like, oh my gosh, like, can we withdraw the K3? Because we obviously would rather have our client go and get the immigrant visa versus the K3, because when you get the K3 visa, you got to come to the United States, then you got to file the green card application, and wait another year and a half right now. So we never recommended it, because frankly, it was a terrible visa. But now I see the appeal, like I can see the appeal to why, especially if your case goes to California, but you don't know where your case is going to go, right? You don't know where your I-130 is going to go. So if you're looking at filing a K3, you remember you're married and you've already filed you have to file the I-130. So you have to do it anyway. So it's, it is worth looking at if you actually, your case ends up in California, but then it could get transferred somewhere else. Linda, if you have any thoughts on this, I would love to hear your feedback. But I was doing some research on this because I've gotten this question 4 times. And, I think that it said that USCIS has only approved like 5 K3s in 2019. That was the last data. But I can see why people are just like, gosh, I mean, there's got to be another way other than just waiting. So those are my thoughts on that. I personally do not have any recent experience with K3, because we just left it in the dust. It was a terrible option because it just didn't work. So if I were looking at those things, the K1 versus the K3, again, you have to get married with the K3. I think the question really is should I do the K1 or the immigrant visa? Am I going to get married? When can I get married? If I can't go to the country where my fiance is for another 6 months, but I am eligible for the K1 visa because I've seen her within the past year. I mean, there's so many different considerations here. Then I think that really is the question. The question is K1 versus getting married. And then you can like make that decision whether you should, convert that to a K3. So, it's kind of a lot.
All right, Wolfgang, hope that helps.
It probably just made you more confused, but I don't have solid data on K3 for this year or even last year, but we do have it from 2019 and like nobody uses it. But that doesn't mean that it's not the right thing for now, but it really just depends on the service center. Okay, moving on.
Well, you're doing something right. Anna sent us a bunch of roses.
All right, thank you.
And I saw in the comments there, we were talking about the immigration legislation, and Linda said contact your representative, and she's right.
Yeah.
That really is. I mean, if you're just trying, if you're thinking, well, what can I do to possibly help this? She's right. Call your representative and tell them what you want to see. If there's pressure on the Congress, then they tend to react to that.
Absolutely. All right. Let's see. I think this is Linda asked, I think this is for Jabber. Does he own 51% of the business? Right. Yeah. I think referring to the E2, potentially E2 visa. So Evelina says you are listening to the best attorneys. Evelina, you can't call us the best attorneys. Well,
she can. We just can't call ourselves.
I don't think she can. You can. Yeah, you can. Go ahead. Keep saying that.
Yes, she can say that.
You're biased, though. You're biased.
Oh, and look, here's my aunt joining us
Jill
from South Florida. Hi, Jill.
Hi, Jill. Great to see Gardner Mendoza in 2022. Yeah. Great to see the Jill Gardner in 2022 on Facebook. All right, let's take a look at, I'm going to just take a look to see if we have any comments here. We've got a couple.
Got a quick question here.
Yep.
See if you can get this. Anahi wants to know if you know the wait times right now for Juarez appointments.
Oh my goodness. So the wait times are long. I only have recent interview experience where after our client, and again, a lot of this has to do with COVID, guys, but it was already very backlogged before COVID. Juarez was backlogged before COVID. And so we had clients that were ready to go to interview and that sat at the NBC for 2 full years. And this is, so hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully it's moving along and moving a little bit faster. I am seeing in the comments, and we are seeing more cases get to the interview. I'm going to say, in the last couple of weeks, we've seen more interviews and more NBC notifications that they're scheduling interviews. So that is good, moving in the right direction. But the last case that we did in Juarez, it took 2 years to get to the interview. So I don't know how long you've been waiting, but the moral of the story is to file the case.
Yes.
To file the case. And you're asking about Juarez. So you've filed your case. You're done. You're waiting. But for those of you out there who are still waiting to file the case, just file your I-130 petition and, take several naps for several days for years. And, I did a video, and I felt like I was a little bit harsh in the video, but I said that, there's one thing that people don't think about, and that is, how long did it take you to make the decision to file? Okay, I know it's taken USCIS 2 years in California and Texas to approve the I-130 petition, but how long did it actually take you to make the decision to file the petition? How long did it take you? Did it take you a year? Did it take you 2, 3, 4, 5 years? So don't be the holdup. Don't be the holdup, because I'm sure Linda saw this too, working at USCIS, but y'all, sit on it too long. I have family members who are sitting on I-130 petitions that they could have filed 1, 2, 3 years ago. So, yeah, things take long, but you have control as to when you can file your I-130 petition and when you can file your N-400 and whatever else that you need to to file.
Yeah, well, that's human nature.
I know.
You hem and
It
haw
is.
about doing something forever, but the second you decide you want it to happen,
Right.
you want it to happen right away, which is.
And we're going to be there for you guys when you guys make that call. We know, like,
Well,
I want it filed. I want it filed right
times
now.
are
Right now.
involved, Robin's right. We tell people this every week. Everybody we see and know, these things do take time, but the sooner you file something, the sooner you start your case, the sooner it's going to be over. So stop waiting and call us and make the move. All right. As Tony Robbins says, make your move.
This woman right here, look, she's just lining our pockets with money tonight.
That's
Miss Evelina says, worth the investment and peace of mind. That is correct.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, very, very, very much. Thank you.
And also, Humblebee on TikTok sent us 30 roses.
Whoa,
that's
awesome. Yeah, thank you guys. We don't know how to get our half cents out of TikTok. I think we have 18 cents.
Those of you who don't or who are not on TikTok, you're probably like, what is this talk about roses and coins and what's happening?
Yes. It's kind of like likes and hearts and stuff like that. All right, let's get JB here. JB says, my U.S. citizen father filed a petition for me in 1997 when I was 15 years old, but you never heard any update. My father passed away in 2019. Is there a way to check that petition is still active, even if I am now married? So first off, sorry to hear about your dad, JB. Is there a way? So yeah, there is a way. We would need to see all the paperwork that you have. Generally speaking, if your I-130 petition was approved and it doesn't sound like you know what happened to the I-130 petition, then there is the potential of humanitarian reinstatement. But again, we have to do a little digging and see. But there is a way to find out what went on with this petition. And we are typically going to do that if we can't get it done through the National Visa Center. If we don't have any of those numbers, the invoice numbers, then we would do what's called a Freedom of Information Act request and get your file from the government. So great question.
Can you put Linda's comment up there?
This one?
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Linda
I send people to you guys.
Yeah, says my father would say, that's way cool. Thank you, Linda.
That is awesome.
Really appreciate that.
Thank you, Linda. All right, let's see here. Oh, Miss Julieta, hello, and happy 2022 to you and Pete as well.
Oh yeah, how are you doing?
We really have to get together.
All right.
Okay, Cuba. I'm sorry, my bad. I got the country wrong. It's been a while. All right. Let's see here. Let me see. You have a Linda has a little tip here. She says, and this is for Wolfgang and anyone else asking about.
Yeah, Wolfgang, if you're still on TikTok with us.
Yeah, Linda, who is a former immigration officer and supervisor for probably 18, 19, 20 years.
This is some inside baseball.
She says the K3 gets lost at the consulate.
The K3 gets lost at the consulate.
Kind of like the humanitarian request gets lost at USCIS. All right. Good tip there. Good tip. Yep. Maybe that's why no one files it. No one does anything with it. It's just used so little that I think no one knows what to do with it. All right. Do we have any questions?
Right. It's 987. I'm going to ask you to resubmit because you have a question, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. Here's one. Happy New Year. Thank you. Happy New Year to you. My mom stayed for 2 months after the expiration of her I-94. Is there any fee that she must pay?
I'm sorry. What was the question? I was reading another question.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
My mom stayed for 2 months after the expiration of her I-94. Is there any fee that she must pay?
There is no fee that she has to pay for an I-94, but I will say that people who overstay their I-94, you have to be careful that you don't trigger. Well, you're not going to trigger unless you leave, but that you don't invoke the 3 and 10 year bars if you leave the country. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Just watch out if you overstay for 180 days, then you leave the country, you're going to have a bar from re-entering for 3 years. And if you overstay your I-94 by a year and you leave the United States, then you have a 10-year bar. So, and there may or may not be waivers available for you. If you are a U.S. citizen and mom is here and mom wants to stay, then there is, of course, the possibility for a U.S. citizen children to petition for their parents as the immediate relatives of U.S. citizens. And if she overstays, then that's essentially forgiven. Linda's probably like, we don't really like to use the word forgiven. But you are still able to adjust your status to that of a lawful permanent resident.
Okay, before you put that question up, I just want to respond real quick to Faiz M16, who says, how do I ask you a question? You can put it in TikTok if that's your preference, or you can go to our Facebook page, Garden Mendoza Law, and you can put it in there, and we will get to it. All right? We prefer that you put it in Facebook because then we can read it and post it.
Yes.
But if you can't do that, just put the question right here in the TikTok page that you're on now. Okay.
Okay, let's see here.
Uh-oh.
This is Julieta. This is a long one.
Julieta's given us a long fact pattern. This is like being back in law school.
You can read that.
Uh-oh. We're having flashbacks of taking a law school final.
Why do I not have water up here?
I have a question. My niece has been applying to get her visa to come as a tourist from Mexico, but the United States has been denied every time since she was 18 years old. When she was a child, she had it without any problem. Is there any way to find out what is the real problem? She has all the requirements okay, her own business in Mexico, a couple properties, married with a very good and professional person with a visa, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, tough. It's tough. So what are they telling her? That's one question I have. I mean, they're probably, does she have family members here in the United States that could petition for her? You can't, there is the possibility of doing a CBP, Customs and Border Protection. Well, that wouldn't actually, never mind. Scratch that. You could potentially do a FOIA with the State Department to find out if there's anything there. Yeah, we've actually done that before. So trying to get her record to see if there's anything in the record, Julieta, that might reveal why she's getting denied or what notes they're actually writing down there. But that's the only thing that I can think of to do that. And it does take a long time to get that done, but I'm happy to help you with that. So reach out. You know where to find me. You have my cell phone number. Mm-hmm. Julieta is our former Spanish professor.
That's right. Say hi to Pete for us.
And my joke is, and that's why we can't speak Spanish. Just kidding. Broma, solo broma. Okay. All right. Let's look at this question. Great questions, guys. Thank you so much.
Linda's telling us that we need to be a little bit louder.
Okay.
Let's get closer here.
Let's see.
All right.
Okay. So you need to move forward because I'm pretty much up on it. So thanks for that feedback. Right. So we are all right. Albert says, my wife has a pending F2B case at NVC waiting to be DQ'd. DQ'd means to have all the documents documentarily qualified. Is it possible to file an expedite? The reason is she wants to work as a nurse in the United States to help the shortage of nurses, but she is not a U.S. registered nurse. Is it possible that the expedite gets approved? I'm going to say that's a really great reason, but because she, is not a U.S. RN and maybe not ready to go as soon as she immigrates to the United States, it may not get approved, the expedite, but you never know, right? You never know until you try. It's worth a shot. It's worth a shot, but it is tough to get an expedite. Hopefully that helps, Alberts. again, you don't know until you try. It might be a futile attempt, but it's definitely not going to hurt anything. All right. All right. Let's see here.
All right. Defensible Cat wants to know, says, hi, he says, she says, will the USCIS send my husband an email when the decision is made on our case? He is the petitioner.
An email. Yes. If he signed up for email notifications, he will get an email.
Right.
Yep.
And Defensible Cat and Wolfgang have both wished me a happy birthday. Thank
you. Very sweet. Very sweet. Oh, hold on a second. We need to put this comment up. This is exactly what we were saying, guys. Miss Evelina says, it took me over 20 years to make a decision to file for naturalization. So when you put it that way, just put things into perspective, can't rush them. Yeah, that's true. However, Evelina, you were ready to file. I mean, there wasn't a reason, right, to file for citizenship for you at that point in time. But there are some people who could actually petition for family members to immigrate here and be with them if they were to become a U.S. citizen. So, but we did your immigrant, your inspiring immigration story, and you really felt in your heart that it was time to file for citizenship. So, we're going to give you a pass on that. Okay. She's like, call Odette. Okay, they're having so she did use the word forgiveness, and also doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, sorry, we're just chuckling at some of the comments from Linda here.
Yeah. So for those of you guys who's joining us, we do have our friend and former immigration officer and supervisor at our Norfolk USCIS office, and she is commenting on on some of your questions, live streams, and actually answering some questions in the comments. So thank you so much for being the backup. We love it when Linda comes because it actually makes it more entertaining to see her comments. All right. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Okay, so we have a question here. Looks like this one is from YouTube. Ahmad, B1, B2, married green card holder. Should the B1, B2 have a valid I-94 at the day of the interview? Yeah, you should print your I-94 out. Yes, you can print that out from CBP. And I think that if that is your question, you should have a copy of it. Yeah. If your question is, do you need to have a current I-94? The answer is no, because if you file, if we're talking about, okay, yeah, they're talking about the I-45. If you file your I-130, I-45 right now, it is current for lawful permanent resident. So of course, by the time your case gets to the interview, your I-94 is going to have expired, right? So you don't have to renew your B1, B2 while this process is pending, so long as you file that I-130 petition I-485 prior to the expiration of your I-94. It does matter for the spouses of lawful permanent residents. So, all right. Great question, though. Great question.
And, we have some more questions coming in, but early on we had a question. I don't know if you want to address this right now about Citizenship Day.
Okay. So Citizenship Day across the country at many different sites is going to be this year on February 12th. And I am the co-chair of the DC chapter, the American Immigration Lawyers Association DC chapter. And we are having a difficult time mobilizing for February 12th because of the Omicron. And yes, Linda, the Omicron has affected a lot of different things, Citizenship Day being one of them. So we are thinking about pushing our Citizenship Day into the spring so we can try to have an in-person event. But there's still time to do that. I just don't know. We're still making that decision. But great question. But a lot of other sites around the United States, check your local American Immigration Lawyers Association chapter. There are different sites in parts of the country where they are going to still have Citizenship Day on February 12th. So for those of you guys who are applying for U.S. citizenship and you want to have, an immigration professional, whether it be an attorney, a student who has gone through the training, it might be a retired immigration officer like Linda helped us last year, help you in completing that N400, please reach out and get this free help. This is a one day, a couple of days out of a year where professionals come together and help the public who are eligible to apply for citizenship apply for the complete the N400. So great question. Thank you for that. All right.
You want to grab that one?
Yeah. So Noreen says, I'm the green card petitioner for my daughter 2019, now waiting for interview in Manila. Can I apply for U.S. citizenship while waiting for her interview? So yes, you can apply for U.S. citizenship. We have to take a look at let's see here. Don't know how old the daughter is, but we would want to take a look at the visa bulletin, right? So there is something in the visa bulletin that does protect your daughter from going to, depending on how old she is, from going to one category to a slower category, like a faster category to a slower category. And the purpose of that was to not penalize people for applying for U.S. citizenship, right? So yes, you can apply for U.S. citizenship while waiting for that interview. Just keep in mind, though, that if it's slower category, once you become a U.S. citizen, then your daughter can opt out of that slower category and go back to the faster category, if that makes sense. So reach out to me if you need any more explanation on that. But yeah, it's fine if you do that. All right. This Ahmad's question came up multiple times. So, all right. We have any questions from over there?
Yeah, Master Cruz wants to know, I just got our approval for I-129F.
Yay, congrats.
After 10 months.
Okay, not bad, not bad.
Now, how long does the NVC processing petitions take?
So you can expect once the I-129F is approved, then it takes about 2 months to get transferred to the NVC. And then it depends on what the embassy is and how quickly they are scheduling interviews. So fiance visas were stuck at the NVC for the longest time. That seems to be improving a little bit, but I can't tell you exactly how long it's going to take. It depends on the embassy. So congrats on getting that approved, and hopefully it goes smoothly for you. I had someone in a comment and say that they in Manila, which was, I think it was Manila, which is very, very surprising. He said it only took 3 months. This is recent, to get from the NVC to Manila. And I was just like, no way. But I think he did say it was Manila. All right, let's see here. For those of us just joining us, just want to welcome you and reintroduce ourselves. My name is Radlin Mendoza, and this is my husband and law partner, John Gardner. And we started the law firm of Gardner Mendoza 21 years ago, and we're still here. John's birthday is on Friday.
Yes,
mine is in February. It's a big one. And the point is we are still here after all these years, and sometimes some of our clients come to us a few years later after we help them get citizenship, and they're like, hey, I'm ready to file that petition for my sibling now. And I look at my watch, I'm like, it's been 10 years. Like, where have you been? One of the things that John and I like to really try to emphasize is if you can file your petition for your family members, or if you can file for U.S. citizenship and it's something that you want to do, then get in line and file your case. Get in line and file it now. Because
the time's going to pass either way, whether
the time is going to pass,
whether you filed or not, and you may as well have that time working for you.
Right.
It's like compounding interest on an investment.
Yes. We don't talk about investments right
Yeah, we're
now,
not
though.
talking.
They're
That's a
very,
different show.
yeah. If you guys want to talk about investments and how we're feeling right now about the market, that's a different.
And again, if you want to reach out to us, info@gmlaw.net or our Facebook page, Gardner Mendoza Law, and you can call us 757-464-9224.
Let me put a banner on this. Look how fancy this is.
Yeah.
Let's put the fancy banner on. Oh my gosh, there is all of our contact information if you guys want to check us out.
My birthday's coming up rather than correct. I will be 53 this Friday. So that's why I keep saying that it's actually the big 3-5. I don't know if my Aunt Jill is still on, but Jill, do you remember Nana used to always make the joke? She'd always flip the numbers around.
This is John's grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see here. Let's put Samantha's question up. And there were a lot of questions today. Thank you guys so much for all these wonderful questions.
Yeah, I've got several on TikTok
and
too. So.
Remember, you're I know you're asking the question for yourself, but it's also helping other people as well. Yep. So thank you for the questions. They're really great.
Yeah, we're not just answering your question. We're answering questions that others that are watching may have as well.
Right. So Samantha, you want to read this here?
Yeah. I filed an I-130 for my parents and recently got an approval from the NVC, but my father was recently diagnosed with cancer. What will happen to the petition if my father can't attend the interview or do any of the necessary steps to complete the process? Can I postpone it?
So yes, sorry to hear about your dad.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, but yes, you can, if they do schedule an interview while he's going through treatment and then he can't go, then yes, you can ask for a postponement of that interview. I would, let's see here, you petition for both your parents. I would have your mom go. I mean, if you have to postpone the interview for your dad, that's fine, but I would still have your mom go and go through her process. I wouldn't hold her process up. But yes, you can postpone that. And again, I understand that they probably will want to come together and travel together. But I never like to postpone an interview if it can be helped, just because it's hard to know when it will come back on schedule. But I hope that your dad improves and you don't have to postpone anything. Mm-hmm. Hopefully he gets better. All right, real quick,
can we grab one here? Jillian 5 has been on for a while. Says, we applied for the I-130 spouse petition and we received a notice of approval and are waiting for an interview. Do you have any idea when our interview will be?
I do not have any idea when the interview. We don't have an idea when that's going to be. It's been really, really hard to predict because of the pandemic. There is still a massive backlog at all of the U.S. embassies, and not sure if, depending on the embassy, what is happening with the Omicron. Like it's really bad here in the U.S. and all the states, and things are shutting down again. They don't have people to work the cases, so there could be a slowdown until the peak of this. So we can't really give you a really good sense of when is an interview going to come, because we're pretty much guessing as well, with our clients. But one positive thing is that we are seeing movement with National Visa Center. We're seeing cases being scheduled for interviews that we've been waiting for, months and months and months, almost years on. So that's good. It's moving in the right direction. And I also feel like, just from some of our newer cases, that they are processing the newer cases first, and they do that sometimes. So hopefully, that happens with your case and it gets shepherded through the process. All right, let's see here. We're both looking at questions. Let me put this one on. Linda's going to have to answer this question here. Let's see. How can I get my original birth certificate back from USCIS when they requested for proof for my parents' family petition? Every time I send the form to return my documents, they have me send a request to NVC, and from NVC, they have me ask USCIS. It has been 2 years already. I would say, if you have not already done this, let's see here, Cirque, let's just say Cirque. I'm not sure if that's Mr. or Miss Cirque, but Ortiz. But if you get your congressional involved, contact your local congressperson, tell them, if you have not done this already, and you didn't mention it, so I'm going to suggest it, tell them that you need help with immigration, and that is one of their functions, is to help you with stuff like this. So if you haven't tried that, I would definitely go that route. And if you need any assistance on how to do that, just reach out, just send a DM to a direct message to Messenger, and we will have someone from our office who worked for a congressperson.
Yeah, I was going to say, we have
Yeah.
someone in our office, one of our team members, who has had 8 years experience working as a liaison in this capacity with more than one congressperson. So she knows how to do these things.
Right. Okay. Awesome. But a really, really good question. Let's see here. Ahmed's question came up like a million times, but it must have been a glitch. Okay. This is some really great insight. This is why I'm so happy we're all here. So Rebecca says, people are using the K3 to speed up the process of the I-130, and it works. We were at California Service Center. K3 was denied in exactly 6 months, and the I-130 was approved right after. That's awesome. That's a great feedback. Thank you so much for sharing that. Fantastic. Wolfgang, are you out there?
Yeah.
Now Wolfgang, he was talking about K1 or K3. So
Okay, that's right.
Not married or married. That is the question. All right. Do we have a question over there? I'm going through.
Yeah, Rona Haliza wants to know, I'm on an L2.
Okay.
I'm a nurse looking for work, and a hospital has offered me H-1B. Should I accept it?
Sure. Yeah, but I don't know. Why not just get a work permit pursuant to the L2 status and work with the EAD? They are up. That's an update from last week in case y'all missed it. This is why you should never miss one of our Facebook lives, right? Or live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we miss it. It's okay if you miss it. It's always recorded. But if you are in the healthcare industry, you're a nurse. If you're in transportation or food service or administration and healthcare industry, USCIS is going to expedite your work permit. So I don't know why you would go through the H-1B process versus just getting your EAD. Maybe there's a reason. I would love to consult with you on that. But that's an option, yes, for the hospital to do an H-1B for you. And again, it's an option. The question is it the option that you should take? And there's just a lot more things that I would need to know to answer that. But I'm immediately thinking, why not do an EAD? They're expediting them right now, H-1B. Maybe they think it'll be faster because maybe they are, cap exempt. So, all right, let's see here. All right. Got a couple questions. Lots of really great questions. I'm trying to scroll through the glitch of Ahmad's, whose question appeared like 30 times. Zayan says, are derivative cases a long process? My friend from Philippines and her citizen dad is having issues. Our friend is already 31 and has a daughter. Can she still convert to being U.S. citizen? A friend from Philippines and her citizen dad is having issues. My friend is already 31 and has a daughter. Can she still convert to being U.S.? I'm not sure I understand the question. Are we talking about derivative citizenship? Derivative citizenship can be a long process, yes, if that's what you're talking about. If you're talking about a derivative beneficiary, that can also be a long process. It is tied to the primary. So, Zayan, I'm not sure I understand the question exactly. If you want to rephrase that, I will give it another shot.
All right. And Anna here wants to know, am I still able to file for citizenship even though I moved out of my husband's house before 3 years?
No, I don't believe so. Nope. Linda, what do you think? So generally speaking, the rule is you can apply for early citizenship. That's 3 years, okay, or 2 years, 9 months if you can apply 90 days early. But you have to show that you're married and living with your U.S. citizen spouse at the time of applying if you don't have the 3 years. And yeah, that's not going to fly.
Okay.
Linda, what do you think?
Does that help, Anna? Maybe not be the answer
Linda's
you
going to
wanted.
volunteer again. Just so many questions and comments. I love it. Yes, USCIS officers are human too. I love all of my USCIS officers, right? All of them. We're all human. Okay.
Hope that helps, Anna. May not be the answer you were looking for, but
or that you wanted, but yeah, it's
Right.
3 years.
And Amira here, who's joining us in Hawaii, says, "Aloha, my husband is Pakistani and I want to petition for him. What do I need to do and how long will it take?" It's a pretty broad question. But
Yeah, so it depends on how long it will take. We'll answer that one first. It depends on the service center that it goes to. So if it ends up in, say, California, then it can take up to 2 years to have the I-130 petition approved. If it goes to Nebraska, then it can be 5, 7, 8 months. So that's a huge difference. The first step in filing a petition for a spouse is going to be filing the I-130 petition. All right, great question. Great question. The kickoff petition. Let's see here. Rebecca says, with borders being closed in Morocco and it's impossible to get mail there, how do I get original documents to my husband? Yeah, we have not had trouble getting mail to our clients like this here, with the borders closed in Morocco. But one thing, depending on what you're sending, you may not need the original what they're requesting. So they do request original of divorce decree. That's the one thing that I can think of off the top that is required as an original document. And so I would, for now, of course, just upload the document and try to get it to them once. We don't know when the interview is going to be scheduled, so you do have some time for things to get better with regard to the mail. When we send things to countries where other than the Philippines, and we typically will be sending it DHL. I don't know if that matters, but that's just a little tip. But I would just wait to see what they request original. Usually the only original thing they request at an interview is the divorce decree.
Did you have the B1, B2 question?
Yes, a bunch of times. Yeah. Are you talking about Ahmad?
Let me see what that question is. I just don't want to have the same one. Do you see it there?
I'm not sure. We have a lot of questions that we are probably not going to.
You just
probably not going to get to, unfortunately. Yes, if we have a party, Linda, you're invited. Oh my gosh, we really aren't, because we only have 1 minute left. Do you want to grab a question real quick?
Well, it was the B1, B2 question. B1, B2, married green card holder.
Yeah. We answered that one.
You did? Okay, I must have been scrolling here.
John's not listening to my answers.
I must have.
It's tough. It is a busy time on our live stream tonight, guys. So much fun. We should make it longer, like an hour and a half.
All right. Whatever 909 wanted to know what happens when an expedited request is accepted for an I-130.
Accepted?
Yes.
So if you mail it in and they take it, then they're going to make a decision on it. If you mean that they've approved it, then the case will, get put on the fast track and get decided faster than normal processing times, way faster, hopefully, but not like overnight. I wouldn't say it would be decided overnight, but just not in the time frame that they are giving.
Okay. Got that.
Oh, here's Linda says, this is a really good tip right here, just insight. She says that they process the easy cases first. So there you go.
More human nature. We talked about some of the human nature that makes, I can see that.
All right, guys. Sadly.
Just seeing if there's anything in here really short. Nope, I don't see.
Let's see here. Okay. Oh, Linda says 14 days to the decision. So that's not bad. If it is approved for expedite, if an I-130 petition is approved to expedite, then 14 days to decision. See how great it is to have someone
I know
from the inside. This is why y'all should
that's
always join our live stream, because you never know
right.
what VIP is going to pop in with all of this knowledge.
And Linda, just so you know, and so everyone out there knows, we do this every Wednesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And so make sure that you join us. All right.
So every night at 9 o'clock, our youngest daughter, Ray,
she's our timekeeper.
She comes in, she's 10. Look how cute she is. And she says, hey, it's time. And she always comes on time. Well, she's 2 minutes late. She must have been stuck in her iPad.
Yeah.
And she had to run up three flights of stairs, so she's out of breath as well. But guys, thank you so much for all the questions. They were amazing, vibrant, fun live stream. We had a really good time.
And thanks again, Linda, for joining us. Always a pleasure to have you here. I hope that you'll do it every Wednesday. I mean, I know you can't, but we would love it if you did.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And listen, real quick, guys, if you need to get in contact with us, there our information is on the banner for y'all on TikTok. You can come to our Facebook page, Gardner Mendoza Law, and get the most recent updates with immigration.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you next time.
Right.
Two thumbs up.
And we will see you next Wednesday at 8 o'clock.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for all of your amazing questions.
Have a good night and Happy New Year, everyone.